Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we'll be watching the science behind being a weirdo. This video is by Zoomology, and let's get straight into it. And I'd like to say, as a professional myself, I will maybe this video will help me stop being so chuddish, you know. So let's get into it.
Take 100 people and ask them to imagine a weirdo. 95.4% of them will imagine a man. But what actually makes someone creepy? To make sure you're not perceived as a weirdo, I've analyzed 3 of the weirdest figures of all time. Case 1. Mark Zuckerberg. Let's analyze this viral clip with Mark and Theo Von.
You drink coffee, man, or no?
Nah.
It don't even matter if he's weird or not. He's rich. He invented Facebook. He invented VR. He invented glasses. This man is rich. Even if he's not weird, even no matter how weird he is, women will still love him because he's rich.
Really?
Yeah,
I mean, you've had it.
I have. Sometimes on vacation, I'll drink it recreationally. It's like every once in a while.
You see, the prime factor that makes Mark seem weird
He's awkward as hell.
in this video is his unusual nonverbal behavior. He nods no while saying yes, he laughs when there's nothing to laugh about, and he keeps his hands tense during a chill conversation. The body language misalignment makes you look unpredictable. And as proven in this 2016 study, unpredictability
So I'm creepy is what you're telling me? I don't like that though. I don't want to be creepy. I don't want to be weird. I just want to be known as a good guy that laughs, eats soda, drinks pizza, and just a wholesome dude. That's what I want to be known as. Not no creepy guy.
is seen as creepy by the human brain. It's one thing to see your friend laughing heavily after a joke, and it's another to see a stranger do that while approaching you. You don't know what's really happening in their head. Now, another thing that made that interaction weird was the awkward silence. Think about it. In that scene, Theo Von gave Mark 3 hints to open up.
You drink coffee, man, or no? Really? I mean, you've had it.
But what Mark experienced is called the conversation paradox. Normally, it's almost impossible to experience awkward silence when you talk to a friend or a family member. Why? Because your brain will just spit out everything you think. But when you're nervous, your brain will stop you from sharing more details because it thinks the other person isn't interested. All that awkward silence could have been avoided if Mark would have just expressed how he felt.
You drink coffee, man, or no?
Sometimes on vacation, I'll drink it recreationally. It's like every once in a while.
Yet later in the interview, when this happened, Mark suddenly snapped and started to behave like a normal dude again. Sometimes acting weird appears when you get stuck in your own head. So instead of over-focusing on yourself, try to simply just listen to the other person. Now, this Mark right here is actually the cool and improved version of the OG that we all recognize. But why was he considered weird in the first place?
No, that is not the same person. Yeah,
Mark suddenly snapped and started to behave
that is not the same person. You cannot convince me that those two people are the same, bro. They are completely different.
like a normal dude again. Sometimes acting weird appears when you get stuck in your own head. So instead of over-focusing on yourself, try to simply just listen to the other person. Now, this Mark right here is actually the cool and improved version of the OG that we all recognize. But why was he considered weird in the first place? Besides unusual body language and unpredictability, creepiness can also be associated with weird occupations and hobbies. The old Mark looked like he was only interested in business and stealing your data. The new Mark does surf, jiu-jitsu, and he's even a bit more interested in his social appearance. Plus, the pale skin, thin eyebrows, and short hair made him look like a robot.
That is not the same person. Hell no. Look at them. It's even different eye colors. The lip shape's different. The nose is different. Like, look, it's just not the same person.
In his social appearance. Plus, the pale skin, thin eyebrows, and short hair made him look like a robot. Very low facial contrast makes it hard for us to read his emotions. And when you can't read someone's emotions, you can't predict their reactions. But it's better to talk more about looks in Case 2, Michael Jackson. Mike's only mistake is that he tried to aim beyond perfection, yet human perfection can't be reached via surgeries. You see, in 2011, it was proven that our brains see average facial features features as more attractive. Counterintuitive, right? Well, not really. You see, over the centuries, our brains had to develop a method to identify which individuals were infected with viruses, bacteria, and parasites in order to keep our distance from them. Now, what most of these infections
Oh, that makes sense. That makes so if you see a zombie, you'll be scared of them because they don't look right. You right.
have in common is that they make people look sick and even modify some of their facial features. That's why when our brains see a person like Michael with unusually inexpressive
There's no way this dude was black.
eyes, very pale skin, weird colored mouth, and very hollow cheeks, it automatically thinks that he is sick and we should keep our distance from him, even though our conscious mind knows that this is not the case. Now, up to a point, these modifications can be just seen as weird or ugly, but when they reach a point where the face doesn't look fully human anymore, it taps into a psychological phenomenon called the uncanny valley effect. Basically, we fear things that look nearly human more than stuff that are clearly not human. Now, unfortunately for the king of pop, he inflicted these changes via surgeries, some say because of his childhood trauma, but the average
Yo, the fucking robot they could put it. That looks scary as hell.
human? Well, if you take a peek at the studies, you'll see that most of the physical aspects that make you look weird or creepy are linked to poor personal hygiene,
They're very rough skin. Bags under their eyes. No, bags on their eyes isn't even that creepy.
and poor general health, so they can be fixed by simply taking more care of yourself. Case 3. Albert Einstein. The living embodiment more care of yourself. Case
Michael, this ain't contradicting himself because Michael Jackson, he looks creepy in this role, but he doesn't have bags under his eyes. He doesn't have actually maybe it's greasy, but he doesn't have any of that stuff. He didn't have dirty clothes. This dude, on the other hand,
Case 3. Albert Einstein. The living embodiment of a mad scientist. But Einstein's weirdness didn't start here. It started here. When he was a kid, his parents Herman and Pauline understood that their child is not quite like the others. He avoided the other kids, always wanted to play alone, and never spoke a full sentence up until the age of 3 to 4 years old. Now the story goes that his first sentence surprisingly came at a dinner table. "The soup is too hot." His parents were shocked, and even asked why he never said anything before. Up to now, everything has been just fine. Their hearts were relieved. Their kid was finally just like the others. They could not be more wrong. As a kid, he developed a condition named echolalia, meaning that he used to repeat certain phrases to himself 2 or 3 times in a row. Then he became obsessed with compasses, started to cause problems at school, and even started a no wearing socks rule as a teenager. All of his life, Albert tried to fit in. Yet,
that's not fitting in, bro.
everyone saw him as a weirdo. So as a young adult, he changed his approach. He abandoned these social norms completely, started to grow messy hair, and completely accepted his weirdness. In a world full of classy scientists, he chose to be the weird, witty one, and ended up being loved for that. So loved that during his second marriage, Einstein had to gather the patience to deal with physics, his lovely wife, and 7 other mistresses on the sideline. Now, Einstein's successful transformation can be explained by a 2011 study, which
Oh, he cheated on his wife a lot.
basically says, if you do something weird but you show embarrassment or admit what you did was weird, people see that you understand social norms. That self-awareness makes you appear more pro-social and trustworthy. On the other hand, if you do something weird and act as if it's totally normal or pretend nothing happened, it suggests you don't understand social norms, which can make you seem weird. Now, the quickest way to understand these social norms within a group is to learn how to read people using science.
Remember in life to always know your worth, and I'll see you in another one.